Welcome, one and all, to another live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and as is customary, I'm joined by the full crew this time around. We have everyone here this week. So we have Dave beside me, Bell on the other side of the screen, and then underneath we have Jeff and Conrad. Thank you, one and all, for jumping in and having another fun week with us here. We've already gotten off to let's just say an interesting start behind the scenes. So I'm curious to see how the rest of the stream's going to go tonight. We have a lot to get through as always. Before I do start all that, Jody says hello as always. She's back from Melbourne.
Hi, Jody.
So she's
Welcome
back. Tonight we have the next round of King of the Riff, the Sophomore Album edition, which is round 7. This is Led Zeppelin 2 versus Def Leppard High and Dry. So I'm going to be curious to see how that battle goes later on. Fretboard Feud sees us continuing our 1970s Aerosmith. So we got a round 2 of that with Get Your Wings. We're going to be doing Backyard Banger again, focusing on Melbourne band Shadowqueen. Bell has the Who Am I, the band edition this time around now. So we've done the person, now we're doing the band edition. And we've got everything else as well, including the bin and all the usual stuff coming later on. So make sure you hit the description box, all the usual stuff. Like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. There's reference tracks for everything we're talking about. We'll put them in the chat as we go through. But in case you miss something, everything you need to know is in the description box as always. If you want to get involved more and do other stuff with us, then check out our Patreon page as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we've got a contact info email in there as well if you want to get into that. So, start a little late, so I'm going to try and fly through things here. But if you do get involved, or if you do watch the show, tonight, get in the comments, say hi, give us your thoughts as we go through. And if it's your first time tuning in, make sure you give us your, let us know where you are tuning in from as well. Speaking of, we have Michael here saying, good evening all, good to see you. Another Michael. Michael's in the crowd here. Hey all, good to see Mick as well.
Michael.
Adrian, what's up? Good to see you. And he's gone. Conrad. So there we go. That hat is getting comments every week at the moment. Basher is saying, good evening all, nice to see all the crew healthy and wise. Well, I don't know about wise, but we're healthy. And Johnny's saying, hey everyone. So good to see you.
Johnny.
Here is Johnny. Now, okay, I'm going to quickly fly through the Hot Rocks segment. I'm going to start going into Hot Rocks, and then we'll start try and make up for the few minutes we lost at the start of time here tonight. So quickly getting into it now. As we do things, we go through Hot Rocks, which is where we go through and pick our songs of the week out of a playlist. Edge Crush is here saying, hey all, good to see you as well. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. So just a quick little shout out to some honorable mentions that didn't quite make it into the top 10 this week. You've got Freeze the Fall with One Left Standing and Ghost the Future as a Foreign Land. Both songs we've covered in the past, but they didn't quite make it into the top 10. So we had a few newcomers and some holdovers as well. So coming in number 10 was Dead Rabbits with Oxygen, as nominated by Vinny. Number 9 was Emergency Rule, Australian band Emergency Rule with From the Grave, a video they released from their new album. That came in at number 9. Number 8, Dragony with Beyond the Rainbow Bridge. That was nominated by Jolie. Number 7, and it's funny because this song held its place from last week to the exact same place this week. So this is Miles Kennedy with Nothing More to Gain, nominated by Kat. That's held on to 7th spot for 2 weeks in a row now.
Wow.
Then finally, number 6, Those Damn Crows are still in the top 10, but they got knocked out of the top 5. So there we go. So Let's Go Psycho is their song, which is just setting all sorts of records at the moment. It's going to be very hard to beat anytime soon. So Michael nominated that one a while ago, and it's still going after about 3 months now, I think it is. So then we get into our top 5. That sees us moving over to Amyl And The Sniffers with Chewing Gum. That came in number 5. Al with In Black Light. That's a Melbourne band. Came in number 4. Amyl And The Sniffers are another Melbourne band as well. Number 3 was The Cost with Rogue. Number 2, Carmeria out of Sydney with 1,000 Winter Rain. So we have 3 Aussie bands in the top 5, which is cool. And then number 1 by a fair margin this week was Eclipse with Still My Hero. These ones were, I nominated Al, Michael nominated The Cost, Carmeria was another Michael, and Eclipse was by Basher. So a lot of people going through and picking some very cool songs this week. So if you want to get involved in this sort of stuff, one, you got to get involved in Patreon, but also you can follow the playlists, Hot Rocks and Tastemakers on our Spotify profile as well. Before we quickly go to the actual rounds here, Kathy's going, howdy all. Good to see you, Kathy. Same with Nicole saying hi, howdy all. So like 2 and 2 there. Exactly the same words. Well done, different platforms, same words. Good to see you, Nicole, as always. Terry's here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again, too. And Vinny's gone, evening, gang. Sorry I missed last week. Good to see you all.
Hey, Vinny.
Like Conrad on getting laid last week. Spewing, I missed the announcement last week, but that explains the wild wins this week.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Now you get a context, Bell. So this is now why we're talking about the song that came up last week.
That's okay. He's been begging for forgiveness all week.
All right, let's get into it now with our hot rocks, our picks of the week. So, Belle, you got to compose yourself because you missed out last week. You're going to go through this week. So, what is yours?
Okay.
Woosa.
Breathe.
Oh, what? We don't get no preamble. Oh no, because you don't know what I'm picking. Oh God,
No.
All right.
Trying to be away from you. I'm a good producer. I'm not quite that good. All right.
Nah, it's all good. Just keep in mind, Carmeria got lucky last week. First time.
All right. I'm composed. Okay, so because I wasn't here last week, I didn't get to participate in the Carmeria review. So I thought I would take the opportunity, since they're in the top 5, to go with their song, 1,000 Winter Rains. So this song, oh my God, this song, this band, this music is so up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so up my alley. Okay, so it has everything I love about symphonic metal. The full sound you get with the synth strings and the big guitar chords, soaring vocal harmonies in the chorus, which was a massive earworm. Plenty of dynamics in this song as well, but you get even more, I think, with this song than you would in just a typical symphonic metal song, if there is such a thing.
Agree.
The harsh vocals were a surprise, and they sound awesome, and you don't really get them in this genre much. And you know, I quite like that style of vocals, so I was very happy to hear them, and they're perfectly placed throughout the song. So just, I think, in my opinion, raises the bar to the next level of awesome. And yeah, when I first heard them in the context of the song and even just in the song overall, it made me think of like I was venturing into a dark castle to I don't know, like find my handsome prince, and there's this like dark demon stalking the castle grounds, and I'm like trying to, I don't know, it just gave me those kind of vibes.
Belle, your name is Belle, and all I can think of is Beauty and the Beast right now. So there you go. You put that into my head.
Oh yes, I was trying to get away from the Beast.
Yeah,
but you know, the Beast turned out to be the handsome prince after all. So anyway,
hopefully not.
The keyboard solo was super cool, and all the keyboard work was great. And this genre doesn't work unless the keyboard player knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Guitars were superb all round. Yeah, and just all the different like sounds that he was going for. Just every choice fit the part of the song perfectly, because there were a few different sounds. You know, you get the full strings and you get a bit of piano sound, and then the cool sound that he had on the keyboard solo. That was different, but I liked it. Yeah. Guitars all around were superb. Dynamics within a dynamic song. They just knew when to chug, when to let a chord ring out. It just adds to the texture of the song. And there is so much to listen to. I didn't get bored of this song all week. And it was on repeat a lot. Much like the guitar and keys, the drumming throughout was fantastic. The moments where he chose to kind of emphasize with a bit of double kick, just perfect. And he was just a fun drummer to listen to. And I was thinking today that he really reminded me of Yuka, the ex-Nightwish drummer. Like he's just, the feel of his drumming is really similar. And I was listening to him, and I could almost imagine Yuka, like, you know, watching Yuka do the drumming.
He's so animated.
Yeah. So I haven't seen this drummer. I don't know if they have any videos with
this has
like
a video,
performance kind of videos.
Well.
But
yeah, so you've got Immortal and this song both have videos, so you can check that out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, and the breakdown was a castle storming banger. And not that there would be, but if there was a banger of the year, this would be a banger.
Nice.
Breakdown of the year, this one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Nice.
this song gets a 9 out of 10 from me, and I'm only holding back from the perfect score because I just don't like giving that shit away too easily. But it was close.
Fair
It
enough.
was super close. I loved it.
It
was very cool.
Nice. Have you heard the whole album yet, Belle?
No.
Oh
no,
listen,
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get to it. That was on my last Thursday list.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
So I hear.
I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
You know, I had it for a month before it came out, and I'm like singing on this album, like, my God, people need to hear this, and I can't share it because I swore I
were
wouldn't.
badgering the fuck out of me over it, and you were right to do so. Fuck, it was good. So, yeah, no, definitely. That interview with Jordan is coming out very, very soon. Over the weekend, it'll come out.
Cool.
Just had a bit of this past week. Just for record, too, Carmeria got number 2 this week with The Thousand Winter Rains. Last week, they were number 1 with Immortal. So they're doing very well week in, week out at the moment. So this one is getting quite a bit of love and well-deservedly so. We had a collective squirt fest over the album last week as well. So, yeah, we are very...
It got messy.
It got messy. All right, speaking of messy, Conrad, you're up next. What was your song of the week this week?
I had a look at these. Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I didn't get to everything. I'm sorry.
Just whichever one got your attention the most.
I had a lot going on. Obviously, 1,000. Was it 1,000 Winter Rains?
Yep.
Heard that a few times now. I did like Rogue, the cast, the cast by Rogue. Yeah. I'll go with 1,000 Winter Rains by Carmeria for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so far that seems to be a standout track for me. So yeah, I'll give that 8 shots. Nice, cool. Yeah. That's good.
That's massive from Conrad.
Nice. Well done. All right.
He's happy. I wonder why.
Anyway, Jeff, take it away.
Me? Oh.
Yes, you, Jeff.
I'm going with
grab a drink. Back.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to. I took the Paul Simon song that was in the list. You guys are like, Paul Simon? You can call me Al, motherfucker. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yep. That's a cool song. I liked it, and so in Black Light, and it actually, when I listened to it at first, I didn't like it, and then I listened to it again. And the
takes a second.
Yeah. And then it started to grow on me, and it was like I started to get. And then I looked up this. It's like, okay, this is like a one-man band, right?
Yeah, out of Melbourne, by the way.
Yeah, there we go. I did see that. Yeah, but I mean, how talented is he? I quite liked it. I thought it had the production on it is very sparse. It's very raw. But I think that's done by design rather than lack of funds, because anybody can make anything sound good nowadays at your home. And so given that, I thought it was quite refreshing. It just impressed me. One guy done everything. Is the guy's name Al? I mean, I don't know.
I'd have to go through my emails because he'd actually the reason why I nominated it is because he emailed it through to us at the show. He actually emailed us and then emailed Channel 31 as well to make sure we were aware of this song. So done. I'll reply to you. He's been persistent and it pays off. So here we go.
It pays off because look, it actually reminded me of another band, and I've been trying to. It's a Canadian band from many years ago. So it's got that. And I think it comes down to the production because it's not as slick as everything else that comes out there, which means when the song is good, it stands out because everything sort of, to me, all I hear is 24-bit sound from everybody, and it just everything blends together, it seems like. So I found that and I think Dave mentioned that one time, not too long ago, about different production. He wishes that other artists could do that because it does make a difference, and I liked it. So I'm going to give this 8 shots. I think that's
nice.
I'd like to hear some more because I think if he can do this and get my attention, then I'm curious what else he can do.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. Like I said, I nominated it, and I was very happy to do so. But we'll keep moving, and that means Dave, you're up next. So which way are you going this week?
Alrighty. I bet everyone thinks I'm going to pick Eclipse. Well, I'm not. Even though that song is fantastic, I don't want to be predictable. And, if I did go Eclipse, I would be saying the same review I do for most Eclipse songs. They are awesome. That song's fantastic. It's all brilliant. They get enough exposure. And I didn't want to do Carmeria because I did them last week with the Backyard Banger. Bell is fucking brilliant with that review. That song is fantastic. I went with a song that really stood out for me. It was from The Cost, that Rogue song.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. That really jumped out. With each time I listened to these top 5 songs, so I decided to pick this. It falls into that whole familiar but different enough to be fresh category.
Yeah.
They're not screwing around with different effects or unusual composition. They've simply written a really good, memorable song. You had the first run through of the 5 songs, 2 that I was already familiar with, and this one just jumped out after those first 2. It's moody, and it doesn't stay in the same place. It takes you to different places. They shift energy, they shift feel, and it's not in a jarring way. It all just runs really smoothly. There's a bit of goth rock in there, which I fucking love, along with a bit of the whole modern metal feel and the metal production and in the main riff. But it was really coolly done. Is that a word? Coolly? It is now.
It is now.
It is now. Coolly. That sounds fucking horrible. That's a word. The singer's got a pretty good voice. Like when the heavy guitars kick in at the 2-minute 40 mark, that is a riff that gets your head banging. Cool slow groove, and they bring the chorus back seamlessly, which is something I always love when they just seamlessly go from one section to the other and things just flow. Composition is fantastic. Cool harsh scream and staccato riffing / drumming to close the track, which I thought was cool. There was a lot of modern rock and metal that's seriously overproduced, and it sucks all the human life out of it. This sounds modern, but it still has that feel that is sadly missing in a lot of songs. So there might be some snap to grid in this. If there is, it's not obvious, which is refreshing. So yeah, I thought this was really cool. I got 9 shots.
Nice. Cool. It's a pretty good top 5 this week overall. Pretty good top 10 overall. Yeah. It's a good playlist in general. But I'm gonna I nominated Al and I picked it for obvious reasons, but I'm gonna actually go the other way and I'm gonna talk about the Eclipse song for a second. There's not much to say about it in a lot of context because I just keep doing what they do. But this song, Still My Hero, it's from the upcoming Megalomanium 2 album, which is due out on September the 20th. So not far away now, that album. And I mean, we've talked about them ad nauseum, said the same thing over and over again. So there's going to be a pretty brief review, but these guys can just simply do no wrong. I don't know if they can write a bad song, these guys. And it's got a great hook. It sounds great. The performances are fantastic. What hits me about this song in particular, though, is the emotive weight. This feels different. Like where Megalomanium had like happy music, dark lyrics, I'm not quite sure where this album's going to land yet. And so this one feels a bit more sort of somber and sort of earnest. And so it's a bit of a gear change from the previous album overall. Nothing out of the ordinary for them, but just, when you're going, it's 1 and 2, literally in this case, it just felt a bit more sort of genuinely emotive, which I appreciated that part of it.
Great. Do you know if they recorded both together? Or
I don't know yet. No, it'd be something I'd actually want to tee up an interview for, hopefully with Eric or something, and work out if they did that, because that'd be interesting to find out. I wouldn't be surprised because this one's come out pretty quick after the.
It's like 1 year apart, and they're never that quick. Right, short albums.
Yeah, both sound like Megalomania was pretty bloody good. So, and what we've heard so far of this one is just as good. But for all this sort of emotive stuff I'm talking about, there's still plenty of energy. There's a great hook. There's a good sing-along vibe to it as well. And, if this is another, again, example of the caliber of songs we can expect from these guys, well, then fuck, the top 10s just keep getting harder every week. I think anyone and everyone can pretty much enjoy what this band do. This song is a great gateway. If you haven't checked out Eclipse, then please do. So they're not breaking any new ground, but in this genre of music, they are the premier band as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if you get any other band doing this style of music better than these guys, and they've been there for a while now. So these guys are one of my modern day favorites. I love them a bit. So they just keep putting out banger songs for mine. So 9 shots for me for this song. But that said, I did do a little thought on Al, and I gave that 8 shots as well. So Jeff, I'm with you on the Al song as well. So that's a very, very cool one there. All right, quickly do some comments here. What do we got here? Just scroll down a touch. Guru's here saying, greetings, rockers across the plane. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well over there on the other continent. Darren's gone, evening, everyone. Anyone going to Maiden? Can't wait for the concert Friday night. Pretty much everyone's going to Maiden, just about.
I'm going Saturday.
I'm going Friday.
I think I'm the only one not going. So there we go. I haven't had the chance, unfortunately. Guru, yes, you're right. Is that a Johnny Hockey jersey? Yes, it is. I've got a reason for that coming up. There's a reason for this, so I'll get to that later on.
Very, very sad.
It's heartbreaking. Anyway, Michael says Carmeria 9 self shots. Good review, Bell. Whole album is great. So there we go. Some love, more love for Carmeria. Well deserved love. David's here. G'day all. Didn't do Maiden. Sick as a dog, but good to see the Zeppelin to get a bow down. Okay, well, we'll see how things go tonight with the battle. We'll see. Craig says tomorrow. Well, yes, that is tomorrow. Craig says, hey all, I'm here, but not here. Busy watching my Catters take on Port. Good luck. The finals are here. So if your team is in there, enjoy it because it's a wild ride, the finals every year. Vinny, take a break from your sex sessions, Conrad, and get to them all, the songs. You shouldn't have overshared, Conrad. You've done it now. You made a rod for your own back. Michael says, Al, another great track. 8 shots. There we go. Some more love for there. Kat says, agree. Carmeria, awesome band. I'll have to check out the album.
Oh, yeah.
Vinny says, 8 shots here too. Tough has joined us saying, sorry, I'm late. I'll make out. I know what's going on with you all in whatever you're on about your hard rock show. Well, good to see you, Tough. You'll find another rabbit hole, I'm sure, to go down tonight. Leland's here. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. I've got a mention for you guys in a second. Hey, Legends, good to see you, buddy. Good chat the other night. That interview's coming out probably over the weekend as well, actually. Michael's gone, liked Rogue a lot too. 8 shots. So getting a lot of love for all these songs all around the board. Michael says all the Cost songs they've released have been on constant rotation since I found out about them. They even did a song with Serge Tankian. That's pretty cool. I hear that, actually.
Is that crazy? You've seen the drumming videos that guy does, have you? Not watched them?
No.
Oh my God, he's he's amazing. He does these drumming videos that blow your fucking mind.
Oh, okay, send us some links, man.
I will send. I'll send a link to you right now.
Cool. Michael's on. I'll be on my own probably, but Eclipse 6 shots for me did not grab me at all. Fair enough. Adrian's gone pizza and beer, Conrad. So there we go. Kat's going, yep, Saturday Maiden, which is nice. Mike has gone Maiden Friday, so Saturday for other Michael. Vinny says 9 shots for Eclipse, very strong, emotional song. And Guru says, Conrad, that hat's so dope. I got the Burton skull rings to go with it. So, all right, into the hard rock happenings, so everyone can sort of take a bit of a breather here. So this is where Leland, I told you, you're going to get a mention in a second, so just stick with us for a moment here. It's a shame that Dave's walking off because I'll go through the a couple of things here first. One is the release list that's coming out tomorrow. Just a quick catch up. Cicada Stone out of Melbourne, they actually released a Future Echoes acoustic EP last week. So I didn't have that on my list last week. I'm putting that onto the list this week. So those of us that have checked out the Future Echoes album, Jeff and I in particular, absolutely fucking love it. So I want to check out that acoustic version of like 5 songs, I think it is, out of that, which is cool. But the rest of the release list for tomorrow, it's a pretty big list overall, but I'll give a few standouts for me. Is Blitzkrieg doing a self-titled release. Fast Eddie Clark has Make My Day, the rock and roll story of Fast Eddie Clark, coming out tomorrow via BMG. So that's a little something there for people to go and check out for the Motorhead fans. Dave is missing out here because Jordan Rudess has an album, Permission to Fly, coming out tomorrow. Mr. Big have the Big Finish Live dropping tomorrow. And Vestige have their album, Janice, coming out as well. There's a lot of other releases out tomorrow. But yeah, that's like my handpicked sort of short list of things there. On to the actual sort of newsier side of things here for a minute. Justin's here. Hey, Legends. Good to see you. You're just in time as well. You and Leland are just in time. So hang on a second. So just into the hard rock happenings, the news side of things. Elizabeth Zaroff from the Charismatic Voice. She's done a Kickstarter now to fund some vocal research. Now, people know her more for the operatic kind of stuff, but she's doing one here. I'll try and read this blurb out and make it make sense. I used to think that screams and growls were harmful to the vocal cords. Even with 8 years of university opera training and decades performing, I believe these sounds were damaging, but I was wrong. We were wrong. In 10 years, I want to see programs on vocal distortion at Juilliard. I want classical singers to cross-train in these techniques because there's evidence that training in vocal distortion could actually improve your high notes. So Elizabeth envisions a future where vocal distortions are used to treat mental illnesses like depression and anxiety. The vagus nerve, which connects the vocal cords to various critical organs, plays a role in emotional processing. Elizabeth Zaroff believes that engaging the full range of vocal structures, as metal singers do, could lead to breakthroughs in mental health therapies. So this is what the Kickstarting campaign is all about. to do this, what she's going to do, they're going to do some testing on a few vocalists. So here's the list of vocalists they're planning to test: Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation, Phil Bozeman of Whitechapel, Mark Garrett of Kardashev and the Carterbox Academy, Melissa Bonney of Ad Infinitum and Camelot, Alyssa White-Lewis from Arch Enemy, Spencer Sotelo of Periphery, Tatiana Schmayaluk of Ginger, and the mighty Devin Townsend. That's a fair list of people to test when it comes to doing
big list.
Yeah. This project will be led by top vocal researchers at the University of Utah with additional experts from around the world. Zaroff has funded much of the initial research herself, but to expand the study, she needs the community to support this venture. So that's what has been launched this past week, a few days ago. So you know what to do. Follow the Charismatic Voice and have a look at that. Another bit of news here. Dave, I've just mentioned to you that Cicada Stone last week released a Future Echoes acoustic EP. So that's something that's...
cool.
But also Jordan Rudess has an album coming out tomorrow as well, in case you were keen to check that out.
Cool.
Just so you know,
I've heard one of his solo albums in the past. I wasn't sold on it.
Okay.
I will check it out.
Other bit of news dropped, and I've got to thank Jody for getting this one through me because my Facebook account's just a pile of shit at the moment. So I've just leaned on Jody to share this one to me. So Electric Mary did a little, or Rusty did a little live video about a week ago or so now, whereas basically Electric Mary have a new song called Sean, which is due on or around October 30th. It's about Sean, who is tragically no longer with us. So it's a song for that. They're going to do a Melbourne show at November 23rd at the Corner Hotel in Melbourne. Then there's more shows to be announced in 2024 leading into 2025, including a European tour, which will be their farewell international tour. They're not going back overseas after this one. So Electric Mary hitting Europe in 2024/2025, and that will be the last time they're doing that. And then they're coming back to Melbourne. They'll come back home to Australia, and Electric Mary in 2025 will be performing for the last time. That has been officially announced. Electric Mary are calling it a day. One of the stalwarts of the Melbourne scene and Australian music scene for a number of years now. They've done some great things, but yeah, they finally, as Rusty says, everything has a beginning, everything has an end, and this is it for Electric Mary. So these next tour dates, if you're an Electric Mary fan, do not miss it. It will not happen again. I trust Rusty to mean it when he says it.
I've seen them live. They're fucking great. So it's the last, if they're calling it a day, make sure you get down and see Electric Mary. Holy shit.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. Also, I mentioned a couple of guys from the Dreadful Tides are in the stream tonight, and this is why, because they have announced that the Dreadful Tides, we did the whole singles thing the other day, they are releasing an EP. And this is very, very cool. So I'm going to read out the blurb they've got here. So the Dreadful Tides EP launch is finally here. A huge effort that we are so proud of. We have made a very special afternoon. We want to share with all of our TDT family to say thank you for your support and being at our shows. It's true. We couldn't do this without each of you. There is a pre-sale for this, and you want to get involved in the pre-sale. You don't want to miss out. It ends on October the 30th. The reason why you don't want to miss out on this is because it is a very limited capacity. The show is December the 1st, to Sunday at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., so a matinee kind of a show. It's at BB's Bar in Musicland, Melbourne, which is the small bar out the back, which is in Sydney Road, Faulkner. Doors are at 12:30 p.m. The event time is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The pre-sale tickets are on sale until October 30. $30 ticket gets you a copy of the EP, hand-signed and numbered, limited to 100 copies, and these EPs will only be available as the band play this show and then other shows onwards for a while. It won't be on streaming for quite some time. You also get a signed event poster, which is shot by Sladen's Photography. You get a raffle ticket into a prize draw, which has some cracking prizes in there. The interview that I've got coming up will go into this more. Your name will be printed on a thank you page inside of the EP cover, so you will always be a part of the TDT family. That's why you need to get in there early. The raffle prizes include a Les Paul copy signed by TDT, snare drum used on stage and signed by the band, band family car photo session valued at $400 thanks to Andrew Sladen's from Shot by Sladen's Photography. Also 2 slabs thanks to Hard Road Brewing Company. So those are the prizes on offer. And it's a very limited thing, so you do not want to miss this one. And for the record, when I did the interview with the band the other night, you guys will be jealous because I got to listen to a new song coming up. Not the final mix or anything, but I got a sneak peek. And
what?
You know how much I love the other stuff? That song I heard the other night is probably my new favorite. Like, it's that fucking good. So
nice.
The final mix yet. So fuck yeah, bring on the EP. If you are anywhere near able to get to Musicland in Faulkner on December the 1st. Do not miss out the pre-sale. Get around it. Follow TDT, also known as the Dreadful Tides. And, have some fun with it because there's some cracking prizes in there as well in the raffle side of things. So get around it, support the band, support the EP, and see how you go with that. What do we got here? All right, so that's all of that. Now we move on to the Backyard Banger segment of the show. So in the comments, I'm now going to put a little link to a band called Shadowqueen with a song called Best of Me. There's all these links are again in the description box. Now, you'll have to forgive me because my thoughts aren't as organized as usual on these ones. I got home and there was no power today, so I'm a bit behind the 8 ball on a few things today. So it's like, shit. Been a bit of a wild ride this last week. Now, this band, Shadowqueen, it's funny going back to this album because I think this is one of the few left that was done before Dave was around the show when we first did the original album in 2012 from memory. And this was, going back over it again was just one of those things where it's remarkable because we listen to so much music, you don't sort of get to go back to the ones you love all that often. And just going back to these songs and remembering every fucking word to every song shows you how good these things are. I know that sounds a bit sort of, I don't know, hard to quantify, but it does to me with the volume of music we listen to. Like we listen to easily 300-400 albums a year. And just knowing that, 12 years since release, these songs have still stayed with me the entire time. I've got some all-time favorites here, like Best of Me is great. Don't Tell. What's cool about this band, especially this early on for them, is just the amount of sass, the amount of sort of willing to go there with the sex appeal and the pillow talk kind of side of things, and having that tongue-in-cheek aspect to it as well, which there's a cool play on words in that song in particular about how the guy gets a bit too excited, goes off a bit early, and he's going, don't tell, and she goes, oh, but I'll tell, because it's all a bit of a fun little game. That the word craft here is so fantastic across the whole album, but that's just one really cool point, because if you listen to the start of the song, then how it ends, it all sort of twists the roles around and inverts things, which is fantastic. There's other bits in here too, like a Prelude to Silence, which is a nice little piano track, which it leads into the track Silence, which is a nice one. You've got Wake Up on here, Get Off. Like every song here is fantastic. What You Want, Any Other Day is another banger as well. What's cool to me is that this whole thing, it's a 3-piece band doing songs that are all about, the 3 to 5 minute mark. And everything here sounds great, feels great. And like I said, everything is absolutely memorable. Nothing here is overblown, overdone, and it just shows you how good they were from the start and still are. This is a band that they don't play very often anymore at all. If you get a chance to see Shadowqueen live, do it. Mm-hmm. It's a full show or an acoustic show, whatever you get a chance to see. They are one of the most talented bands going, and I mean that genuinely, as well as being lovely people on top of that. But beyond those things, the songwriting on display from the first moment of this album, the riffs, the solos, Robbie's vocals, I love her voice. I genuinely adore her voice. I think she's got one of the most stunning vocals going out there. Her delivery, the crack and rasp that she has, along with the pure beauty in the tone, is just one of the things that just stands out amongst so many others. And that's not to put shade on anyone else. It's just that she just leaps out, and you hear her voice and you know who it is straight away. The groove these guys have, the sound, again, every 3-piece sounds big, but these guys sound huge. I just can't get enough of them. And it's funny because I've got a note here that Living Madness, their second album from a few years ago, which is only available on Bandcamp, album,
that's a mistake. That should be on Spotify.
I agree, because that album is a dead set ball terror. And the only reason why I didn't give Shadowqueen self-titled a 10 shots is because I know that Living Madness is a better album. Just for the song Ruin Me alone. Like that opening track on that album is like, oh my God, what a song. So yeah, if you like what you heard on this album, then make sure you go and listen to, even if you go force yourself to go to Bandcamp, look up Shadowqueen on Bandcamp and listen to the songs there, because you will not be disappointed, and I guarantee you'll become a fan for life very quickly if you listen to either of the albums genuinely. But yeah, I could not believe my luck going back to this one over and over again, and I've listened to this one another handful of times, I reckon probably 5 or 6 times this week easy, leading up to tonight's show, and I just can't get enough of it. I could go back to this album again tomorrow, and it's been that long since I listened to it, along with going to Living Madness. I could listen to them both back to back. I could listen to this band for days on end, and I would not be tired of them. I think they're a stunningly good band. I wish all their stuff was more readily accessible. It's up to them what they do. But I just think that, I just hope that we get to hear all of it much more readily sooner rather than later. And I hope that there's actually more to come, because I've been sort of drip feeding some of the songs on the Living Madness album again, sort of teasing them and dropping them as new singles again. So fingers crossed there's more to come from the band. They sort of go quiet, then they get active, then they go quiet again. It's a bit of a hit and miss kind of affair. But when they're active, get around them, because they are one of the best by far. And I say that having covered Melbourne bands for a long time now, they're still one of the best ones I've come across from beginning like this one up to today. That's my point of view on that one. So 9 shots for this one, but only because Living Madness is like a bit better. But if it wasn't for that, this would be a 10-shot album. This is absolutely phenomenal. Quickly do the rounds for just quick thoughts and shots. So Dave, over to you. You follow this band for a while too.
Oh yeah. Even before I was involved with this show, this was one of the bands that you guys were originally the names that was kicking around. So they were, when I found the show, discovered the local scene pretty much, and just like, holy shit, all these bands that I want are right here in fucking Melbourne. This is one of the early ones, and I got to see them when we did the hard rock extravaganza, and they are fucking amazing live. The album you just spoke about is fantastic. The second album that should be on Spotify and more readily available is better. They've certainly grown, and then they went quiet for a while, and then new single came out a little while ago. I was like, yes, Shadowqueen are back. But this band is just, they got that, everything's been done. You just get the right group of people together, and the chemistry between the musicians comes out in what they do. You can't fake that, whether it's recorded or performed live. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. And they've got it. They've got that unique it factor. Write good songs, perform well, everything you want from a cool rock and roll band. They've got the personality, the swagger, the songwriting, and it's all there. So if you haven't heard them, definitely check them out. This is a good place to start. Jump on Bandcamp so you can hear the second album. But yeah, this is cool. I give this album 9 shots again.
Nice. Cool. Belle, did you get to this one?
Yeah, I did. And I'm glad. I really am. It was such a good album. It sucks that it's not more well known. It really does.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to go on this rant. It's been done to death. But
it's
why
so
are
easy to do. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Bad? Why are they so bad at promoting their own local talent? Like, I don't fucking get it. There's only so many times like I want to hear K-Sun,
Belle, I hate to cut you off.
and fucking My Happiness on the radio. Like, why can't they play this? Like, why? I want to hear this. If I'm sitting in a waiting room, I don't listen to the radio.
Australia have a 20 to 25% local content rule. That's all they have to play. And they do it by playing the classics. By comparison, France and Canada have 40% local content.
Yeah.
That's courtesy of
America. We are so far behind with our media laws, it's fucked.
Yeah.
And because they only have to play 20 to 25%, they play the safe option.
Yeah.
Why do they jump on these new bands and expand? We could have this argument to death.
Yeah. We've done it before.
I get your frustration.
I guarantee if I was to turn on Triple M now, I'd probably be hearing the same songs that I heard 30, 40 years
30 years ago.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
You fucking would. It's painful.
It's a shame.
If there's a song, I think it's Bruised. Like, if I heard that come on the radio,
Bruised,
it'd blow my mind. Like, I would love that. Like, why can't that, like, at least a mix, but no. Old and new. No.
Even Triple J, who are supposed to be
they don't play it.
Australian music.
Because if like Richard Kingsmill says people don't listen to rock music anymore.
Yeah, well, he's not there anymore, so that's all right.
He's a fuckhead. He's gone. Did the damage and he fucked off. Sorry, Belle, we took over.
I triggered that. I did, but I get it. Like, it's fucking frustrating. Look, I love the whole album, not just Bruce. Like the whole album, it was awesome. Great riffs, melody, great vocals, especially good lyrics. And I think, listen, the vocalist, I get what you're saying, Andrew. Like, she's just she's just got something. Like I was trying to think, what other vocalist, like female vocalist, has as much attitude, but not in a like there are female vocalists with attitude, and they can be kind of annoying.
Yeah,
she's not though. She just, she's fierce as shit, and I love it. She's cool to hear. So yeah, I think this is great.
It's rare company, but you put her as sort of a mix between Chrissy Amphlett and Suze DeMarchi if you were trying to find a comparison point.
Yeah, but she's just got something.
She sounds different, but that's the attitude.
Yeah.
There's something in there that she's got that, yeah. But
if it was 30 years ago, she could be up there. She would be something. People would be comparing new artists to her if she was around 30 years ago, when people were given a chance.
I think that she's in that caliber. Do you know what I mean? Like she's easily in that caliber, if not more.
I agree. I absolutely agree, and it's just painful that not many people know her. So anyway, look, I think this is great. They should all have a Powderfinger.
Yes.
I want to hear this, not my happiness, which is boring.
Yeah, agree.
Middle finger.
And I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Nice. And I'm really keen to hear this album, which is supposed
you've got to check out Living Madness.
Yeah. Nice.
Holy shit.
999 with 666 upside down, motherfucker.
Conrad, did you get a chance to spin this one at all, or?
No, what's this? Sorry, we're talking.
This is Shadowqueen.
Shadowqueen. I might have done previously. No, did put them up previously. No,
not for a long time. No, so.
We didn't review a song there.
We did a song last year, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, late last year, early this year. Yeah,
last year.
As one of your viewers pointed out, maybe I've been busy doing other things.
Is that what you're calling
other people?
Doing other people. No,
you're not doing it again, buddy.
It's been work. I don't know. I've been very busy at work.
Oh, she's work?
Well, yeah, Conrad the Gigolo of London. All right, so
it's a good thing the Queen's dead. She'd be lighting up.
Anyway, Jeff, did you get a chance to spin this one?
I put it on and listened to like 3 songs, and then it was still playing, and I got tied up doing other things, so I didn't get a chance to focus on it, which is what I wanted to do. But it was still playing in the background. I could hear it. It sounded cool. But the 3 songs that I did hear, the first 3 songs, they were really, really good. Everything that you guys said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it all, and then check out that Bandcamp album as well. So I like what I heard. I just can't, in all fairness, I can't rate it. So, but I still liked it. So I'm sure I'll give it a good rating next week when we see you next week.
All good. Like, it's always that thing where everyone just does what they can do, kind of thing. So
you missed out on Carmeria last week. The next day you're saying it's the album of the year. So.
Yeah, it's
I know.
That's the thing. He's playing catch up, and then he goes, "Oh my god, where the fuck has this been?" Which is the cool thing. That's why this segment is actually so cool, because we're getting to revisit some stuff here that hasn't been done for a while.
I'm glad.
Next week,
I'm glad.
Yeah, so am I. I think it's a really good addition to the show. So thank you to everyone for pushing for it. In particular, Dave, I think you were the one that really angled for this one. Then we got the audience come up with the title for it, and so on and so forth. But next week, Belle, you're up. I'm going to do a poll online to work out which we're going to do all 4 of these bands. Don't worry, but we're going to do a poll to see what the order is going to be. So it'll be a choice between Black Aces, Electric Mary, Flitcraft, and Relica. So there's a few interesting bands, very diverse.
2 I know, 2 I don't.
Yeah, Flitcraft are an interesting band, so are Relica. So I'm familiar with all of them. So we'll see how we go. Bill, you'll have one of those 4 bands to check out next week. But
I've met Black Aces. They're cool.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to put a poll up tomorrow, and then we'll do a by Saturday night we'll know with the result of that, and we'll sort of work through in order those 4 bands. So we'll get to them, but it's just determining the order of how they go through. Okay. Belle, you're up next week. Audience comments here quickly. So Leland's gone. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Most welcome. Thank you for the exclusive interview the other night as well. Adrian's gone. Solid track, very cool. Vocals as well. So nicely done there. Basher, Shadowqueen's album was a complete surprise. I loved it, and all the tracks are awesome. Thanks, THRS. You're most welcome. Thank you to the band for giving us an album to talk about. That's so bloody good. Michael says, be great to see them live. If you do, you will not regret it. I guarantee it. Vinny says, you go blind if you keep doing other things. Wayne. Good to see you, Wayne. Duff Crapper. Detected. There we go.
Oh,
he
dude, I missed
Def
you.
Leppard. He hates Def Leppard. That's he's gone Duff Crapper.
Wayne, I've got that video you sent me. You have Hysteria on vinyl.
I know.
You showed me, and you said, don't tell anyone. I just told everybody.
Pleasure, eh? Yeah.
But Wayne, love you, man. Hopefully you're keeping well.
I miss you, man.
In a while. But yeah, no, hopefully you are keeping well, mate. Let us know how
Hey,
you're going.
Iron fucking Maiden are in town.
Yes, they are.
Not Judas fucking Priest.
He's gone laugh my ass off, shush. So there we go. For those long time
dude, I miss you, man.
From the show, he's had some great outtakes from the audience sessions we used to do in Cranbourne, which were fucking fantastic. So Wayne, good to see you, man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Iron who?
Iron fucking Maiden,
all
bitch.
things to the priest is well known. Quick other comments here. Vinny says, don't listen to us, Conrad, while you're doing other things. We're busy organising our physical media alphabetically. That's as exciting as it gets for us plebs.
Hey, I love doing my DVD.
Excuse me, Vinny, but yeah. Welcome to my world.
Belle knows. Belle's got it. Belle knows that shit. She's got it.
Basher says, it stinks how creative, talented musicians are lost to the masses in Australia. They deserve to have success if only our media outlets support them. In the 70s and 80s, radio did play Aussie bands on the radio and on TV, and they were in world standard or beyond, and that is absolutely true. I completely agree, Basher. It's long. It's one of the reasons why we do the show, and I've been doing it for so long. Wayne says, love you guys. Right back at you, man. Genuinely love you.
Got you, bro.
You're one of the best people going around, mate. Love you to death. All right, now to the Fretboard Feud part of the show here. Now, last week we started off doing the Aerosmith, the 70s edition. So we started off with Aerosmith's self-titled album, 1973.
Yep.
Tonight we're going to go through Get Your Wings in a moment. But now we're going to quickly recap and just get a score going so we know where the lay of the land is. So basically what we do each week for this is we go through an album. We have a rotating draft order. And then we pick a song each, and then we poll the audience for the top 5, and then we'll see whoever gets the most popular song gets the most points and just work your way down from there. Last week was pretty straightforward, I think. I don't think there's any big surprises about number 1 here. So Conrad went first and took the song Dream On. Dave went second, took Make It. Jeff took Mama Kin at number 3. Belle had One Way Street number 4, and I was the last pick last week with Walking the Dog. The audience choice top 5 threw a bit of a curveball into things here because, I mean, yeah, okay, Dream On, number 1, we can get that out of the way. Conrad gets 50 points for last week. It's not a stretch. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. But moving up from 5 to 2, it gets interesting because number 5 was Moving Out, and none of us picked it.
Nice.
Which is interesting. Which means coming in number 4 was Make It for Dave. So Dave got 20 points with Make It.
Yeah.
Coming in number 3 was Walking the Dog, which I was quite happy to get actually that many points. I got 30 points for the last pick, so that's a good start for me. Jeff, you got second with your track Mama Kin. So there we go. So you get 40 points for you, which means Belle got left out in the cold with 10 points for her choice of One Way Street, unfortunately. So Belle is on 10 points.
No, that's such a cool song.
Not a lot of love for that one, unfortunately. So it's a shame.
Well, they're wrong.
I love it.
This is going to get Dave fired up every week, isn't it? All right. So
it's Aerosmith, man.
I know.
I should have a jar of Vaseline just ready to go.
We're off the rails tonight, folks. All right. So just to recap, Bella's on 10 points, Dave on 20 points, I'm on 30, Jeff on 40, Conrad on the 50, Conrad's out in the front. Whoever goes last the week before goes first in the new week. So I get to take first crack at things this week, which is kind of cool. So Get Your Wings from 1974 is the next album we're going to go through.
Get Your Wings.
This is a good, solid album. I don't think it's quite as good as the debut, but most bands have their entire life to work on the debut, and then the second one sort of follows up quickly. It's a good, solid album. Underrated tracks on there, like I think Seasons of Wither is a really overlooked track.
Yes, Vaseline right now.
Yeah, Dave. I reckon it's a great
You might
album.
want to mute me. You're going to hear all types of noises.
But that said, I don't think it's as strong as the debut. But that said, it's a solid listen. But I'm going to go with probably the obvious.
It's strong, baby.
I'm going to take Same Old Song and Dance off the board. It is a great way to open that album, and I think that it's the strongest one there for mine. So I get first pick this week. I'm taking that song off the board. But that leaves Conrad. You're up next. So which way are you going on Get Your Wings?
I'll take Pandora's Box.
That's
nice.
I'm sure you will. You got experience now.
You're never gonna live it down, dude. Never.
Oh man,
Pandora. Oh, that's a nice name.
That's a cool song, though.
It is a very good song. Good way to close the album. All right, Dave, what have you got?
Oh my god, I didn't think I'd get it. Holy fuck, I'm happy. I'm excited and I'm happy. Both of these albums get overshadowed by Toys in the Attic and Rocks and everything that comes, but these are two fantastic fucking debut. The debut album and the follow-up. Holy shit! Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm really fucking excited because holy shit, I didn't think I was going to get this song. Are you fucking nuts? How can you not pick this song? I discovered this week, and it's going to be a win, that Spotify, if you have a premium account, you get 15 hours of audiobooks. You used to have to pay on top of your... You get 15 hours per month of audiobooks on Spotify. And I've been doing fucking backflips at work because Joe Perry's autobiography is on there. I've been wanting to read that for fucking years. I've read Steven Tyler's and Joe Perry's is on there. So I've been listening to it in audiobooks. And the fourth chapter, which I just started this afternoon, he's saying he already met Steven. I didn't think much of it. He knew he was impressive, but he's like, our paths aren't going to cross. We're very different. So they eventually, Steven, his bands broke up and he needed somebody to be a backing band for this project he was going to do. And Joe met him and did it then. And then they just started drinking and then it's just like, let's just jam for fun. And they both had the same passion. This song that I'm going to pick is originally performed, was an old song, but it was performed by the Yardbirds. They did it Yardbird style. If they didn't do this song, they probably wouldn't have connected with the chemistry with Steven on drums and singing and Perry on guitar. I think this is a fucking fantastic song. It is so cool to play. Train kept it rolling.
Yeah.
My God, that's a cool song.
I knew you were going there,
Yeah. Well, we did the fucking special last year, man. You'd be surprised if I didn't. When you banged on that. Like, how cool is that song?
That was on my short list.
How could you not pick that?
Because I went with, I think Same Old Song and Dance is better. I love the groove.
Yeah, it's a cool opening, but my God, Train kept it rolling is just a cool fucking riff.
Why are you complaining when you got what you wanted?
I know, I got what I wanted, but I shouldn't have.
Anyway, Jeff, that leaves you next. What have you got for us?
Hey, Seasons of Weather is a fucking cool song too.
Seasons of Weather,
yeah, cool.
Motley Crue does those lyrics. Nicky Six stole those lyrics in Shout at the Devil. He mentioned the Seasons of Weather in the lyrics.
Yes.
That's this album's Dream On. Nowhere near as strong a song, but it's this album's Dream On.
But it's an important one, I think, for their overall career. But anyway, Belle, you get the final call on this album.
All right. Well, now, Dave, I see your CDs, and I raise you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, yours is bigger than mine.
I was about to say, Dave, this is not going to go well for you.
No, it's not. Okay, I bow down before the Queen of Rock.
I have two big ones. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
Oh, no. Belle, are you sure you want to continue this conversation?
I do. And you know what? I have a few things to say. Once again, I wasn't there last week. So I want to talk about Aerosmith for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. Rock and roll has always been cool from way back in the 50s. Artists like Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, they were cool. Then Elvis came along and gave rock and roll skill, shaking his hips, making all the girls scream. After that, the 60s, the corners continued, Hendrix, the Doors, and of course the countless bands in the British invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Most of which were not just cool, but gave us thought-provoking music and lyrics. Aerosmith came along in the 70s and encompassed all of these things. They were sexy, cool, and clever. And it's the combination of that, I think, that won them the fans they got back then and along the way, people like me. And, they've been so successful for so long and they're going out with a bang with still a massive fan base.
Yep.
And the only band that got it all, lost it all, and got it all back.
Oh, because of the Toxic Twins and
the whole drug thing, the 80s, they just bang, and then they got it back.
They got it back, still in the 80s.
Vacation and Pump.
They were bigger when they came back.
Massive.
And they continue to get bigger and bigger.
Oh my God, that was huge. In fact, Aerosmith, I saw them on their Pump tour. That was the first
That's cool.
rock concert I ever went to, and it was fucking awesome.
Fucking cool.
So I'm stoked that I saw them.
Awesome.
Anyway, so Dave, you took my number 1. Andrew, you took my number 2.
AFC.
So I kept my number 3, which is Lord of the Thighs.
KFC.
Nice. That's my number 2.
Yeah,
it's Colonel Sanders'
cool
song. Yeah.
Nice.
Good pick.
Well done. Is there anything else you want to throw in there, Bill, or is that the footnote on or the full stop?
No, that's it. Aerosmith. I'm loving this series, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the albums.
The weeks to come. Yep. Well, just to quickly recap, Bell has Lord of the Thighs, Jeff has Seasons of Wither, Dave Trank of the Roland, Conrad Pandora's Box, and I took Same Old Song and Dance. We'll get an audience poll over the coming days, so just keep your eyes peeled on socials for that. Next week is
going to be an interesting poll.
It is going to be an interesting poll. So Toys in the Attic next week, folks. That's what we're going to be doing next week from 75. Let's get some comments in. Michael's gone. So if you get laid, you get to wear a hat. Oh, well, 2 out of 5. Oh, yes, married. Conrad, you've created a monster. Craig says one-way street.
Episode of
for me too, Bell. So there we go. Vinny says, Dave, rub slowly, man.
You're way more experienced than I am, dude.
Yeah, you two cannot be in a room together, with or without Vaseline. Adrian says, I was on a cover that played the Same Old Song and Dance. Nice. Listen to Jeff Beck play Train Kept It Rolling. Nicely done. Yeah. And Adrian also says, I saw Aerosmith with Dokken. Great concert. Wow. That would be too.
Awesome.
That would have been awesome. All right.
Adrian sent some cool gigs.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people send some very fucking cool gigs. I like how people share those experiences, like between us, but also in the comments as well. So keep them coming, folks, if you feel so inclined. All right, now as we do these things, we go through and do a little game called Who Am I, and that is the next part of the show here tonight. So just to quickly recap, we did do the person edition, which is the last series. So Bell had King Diamond, which was guessed by Dave. Jeff had Cozy Powell, guessed by Bell. Dave had Scott Ian, guessed by Jeff. Conrad had Dave Gilmore, guessed by Bell. Bell did a fill-in spot, had Bruce Dickinson, guessed by Dave very, very quickly. And then I had Jack Douglas, but guessed by no one. So that was the one that stumped everyone last week. Again, Kevin, I'm wondering if Kevin's going to jump in like 5 minutes after the QMI is done like he did last week, because he's not here again this time around. But I know
shall we wait for him? Shall we just wait? Let's
I don't know. He said in the past he'll have to play catch-up because he's got some things on over the next few weeks, but we'll see what happens. But now we're going to move over and do the Who Am I, the band edition. So we go a person, then a band, then an album. That's how we rotate these things through. We get one shot or whatever each. Once we get one each done, we move on to the next version of the game. So Bell's going to start us off for the band edition. The point of this is that I know the regulars know, but Bell gets to give us 10 clues. We on the show get one guess each. The audience can do whatever the hell they want, and we'll just see who gets there first to guess who wins the day, kind of thing. So whoever guesses it correctly first gets to claim the win, just for bragging rights, nothing else. And that's how it all works out. I've patted enough. Dave looks like he's coming back. Vinny's gone. Good escape, Bell.
I'm sorry.
Number 1 and number 2. So there we go.
That's it. It's not good.
All right. So, Dave, you're just in time because we're throwing the bell to do.
Go for a Bell.
Who Am I? Band edition. So, Bell, over to you.
Final Queen. Rock Queen. Come on.
All righty. I was formed in Los Angeles in 1984, and I'm still together today. I only have one original member. However, most of the members that I achieved my initial success with are still currently in the band, whether having stayed the whole time or left and then come back. After the success of my first album, which charted at number 10 on Billboard, along with 4 hit singles, we toured with acts such as Queensryche, Cinderella, Motley Crue, amongst others.
I'm going to say I'm gonna go right out. I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna say Warrant.
Oh, you're correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
Once you said it, I knew it was right because I know how much Belle loves that band. So well done. Jeff.
I fucking love Warrant. Oh, well done.
And you beat everyone because Michael's gone. Wonder if someone will do band the band.
The band.
Maybe.
The band.
Maybe. But anyway, Belle, you did put in the works. What were the rest of your clues?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That's one of the fastest ones, I think. It's one of the fastest ones we did.
Oh, no, that was clue, what, 4 or 5, Belle?
That was clue 3 that I read out. Yeah, so it was pretty fast, I think.
Yeah.
And that was from one of the viewers, was it? That was a viewer's
No, that was
choice.
Jeff.
It was Jeff.
The last one Belle did with like Bruce Dickinson.
With Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, Dave.
That was fast. Not Black Sabbath fast, but I don't know if anyone's ever. No.
Yeah. I formed the first album was 1970.
I made up for Black Sabbath. Just we can let that one die.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, Belle, you had the rest of your clues to go through. So what have you got?
Okay. We achieved even greater success with our second album. However, our European tour ended early after our singer broke some ribs stage diving.
I would have got that one.
Oh.
Well, Jeff got there first.
After our third album in the early 90s, we played at the Monsters of Rock Festival, which I made the headline that year.
Mm-hmm.
We did not come out of the 90s unscathed and released a grungy sounding album in 1996, which also was described as somewhat of a concept album by our then lead guitarist, Rick Steyer. 3 of my first 4 albums were produced by Beau Hill. After a revolving door of musicians, we reformed with our original lineup in 2008 and were scheduled to do a reunion tour with Cinderella, which got cancelled when Tom Keefer's vocal cord got damaged.
Disappointing.
Question 9. Shortly thereafter, our lead singer was replaced by excellent vocalist Robert Mason. Sadly, 3 years later, our longtime ex-lead singer was found dead in a hotel room from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
And our 9th studio album, Louder, Harder, Faster, was released in 2017, which charted at number 19 on the Billboard Top Independent Albums chart.
Good album, actually. Yeah.
And that's all Wikipedia had for me, except that Robbie Crane is playing bass for them in post-COVID-19 shows, but nothing about a new album that I've heard. I mean, 2017, that was a long time ago.
I haven't heard much about them recently.
And they're still together. Like, they're still playing, obviously. So, yeah. Who
knows? Maybe they're just working away at something and they'll drop something in the early new year.
I hope so.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So.
We'll see.
Awesome.
I don't think if they haven't teased anything at all, I don't think you get anything between now and the end of the year. So I think maybe your best bet is early next year if anything's going to come at all.
Do you know what? They'd be a cool band to have at Glamfest.
Yes. I reckon they would these days. They'd work really well.
I would probably travel to see.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
Even without Janie Lane, I think, especially if they're doing stuff from the first 3 albums in particular.
Fuck yes.
I saw them on the Cherry Pie tour.
Wow.
In Sydney. The Cherry Pie
man.
They were really a lot heavier than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
Way heavier than they'd be.
They're a great fucking band. I don't know why all the hate. They got so much shit in the early 90s.
Because everyone heard Cherry Pie and thought that was it. Yeah.
They were far heavier than I thought they'd be. I was like, fuck, they were really good. Yeah. And they're one of the few bands, in fact, the only band I've ever seen, and I've quoted them often as a brilliant idea for bands I'd like to see more bands doing this, and other bands don't, and that is everybody in that band took turns on rotation all night at speaking in between the songs.
Oh, cool!
Hey, that's a great idea.
Nice. They all took turns in speaking in between the songs. It wasn't.
I love it.
I'm a front man. It wasn't. I'm Janie Lane. It's all about me, and I'll do all the talking. No. They all took turns at speaking in individually between the audience, and it was on rotation, and everyone got a fair share of talking to everybody, to the crowd, and it was great.
That's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, really cool. I like that. That's
really like
cool.
to see more bands doing that. Love to see it. Great.
Speaking of talking in between songs, the band, I went and saw Amaranth. And I always got the impression that Amaranth, the female singer, was kind of like the leader of the band. But no. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't talk.
Wow.
She just sings. Yep. And the guy with the clean vocals does all the talking.
Well, there you go.
I was like,
he's into the band too.
I'm like,
this is bizarre. Like, I was saying to my buddy Steve, like, she didn't say anything until like it was right near the end when she did a little bit of talk and basically, hi, thanks for we're in Australia.
Yeah.
But that was it. Every other song.
Do you know what? Her and Alyssa White Glitz, when Annette had to be taken to hospital when she was sick.
Yeah, from that.
Nightwish had to either cancel the show or continue. They came out and they said to the crowd, "Do you want us to leave or give us an hour? And we've got some friends here that might help us out." It's a legendary performance.
Yeah.
And that was her. It was Elise.
It was her.
Yeah. And she did all these songs in an hour's notice. And they're learning off iPods for an hour.
They were singing.
And she's really animated. And when I've seen footage from this, she's talking to the audience.
I was and that concert to me just was flat. I did not enjoy it. I just thought there was some songs that I liked, obviously. But yeah, I just found it really flat.
Yeah, I like the new album, but that band's just been hit and miss for me.
Interesting. It's a shame that you went to a show and it wasn't, exactly what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
they're really overproduced as a band, so a live show, and that's why I didn't.
The guy that does the harsh vocals, he sounds like Cookie Monster on fucking helium. His voice was so high, it was like, what the fuck? It was bizarre.
The clean tone vocalist is from Dynasty, and he's now in New Horizon.
New Horizon,
yeah. But Dynasty's a fucking good band. He's not overproduced in that band. That's why he sounds good.
He's super talented, but maybe
he's a
really well on the night. Who knows? That's why I shouldn't
have
spoken.
She wasn't one of those off nights.
You're watching tonight. Maybe somebody went. I don't know, but I thought maybe I was alone, but my buddy said the same thing.
Okay, well there you go.
It wasn't just
cool. Oh, we'll see what happens.
Can't win them all.
It's a shame,
yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I'm still glad I went.
You've got Maiden coming up. I'm pretty sure that'll make up for it, man. They never
don't hear
put
from
on a
me
bad
again.
show,
Just
so
remember,
you get to see Yannick throw the guitar over his shoulder.
Yeah, maybe to come off the strap, hit me in the head, knock me out, and I'll get millions of dollars from the band.
It's happened on YouTube, man.
I would be if I saw that guitar coming, I'd dive in front of it.
Yeah, but you ever seen the video where Zach Wild throws his guitar out in Melbourne during an Aussie show?
I was there. I was at that show.
You were there?
I was at that gig.
Fuck.
I was at.
You know what? I saw the video and I interviewed Zach a year later, and I'm like, dude, was that planned or was that just a spirit of the moment? And he goes, I was caught up in eroticism and sexism, so he just fucking pipped his guitar out to the audience.
It was mental. The dude that took it, that got it, just got
everyone, it's covered in blood, man. It's like, get the fuck up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was mental.
Crazy.
Yeah,
the security got him. The security got to him, and they worked out who got it first and who should have it. And they worked out the right guy, and they basically escorted him out the venue.
Yeah, you have
to. Yeah.
Said, go home.
Man, I would not be letting that fucking thing go, man. Like, no.
Yeah.
Go to a show and get
out. Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, he threw it fucking high up in the air, man.
Yeah. It was amazing. It's unreal. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep us moving, folks. I'm going to keep us moving.
Yeah, sorry.
Adrian says Bohill produce. Sorry, what was that?
So you'll enjoy Maiden, guys. I've seen the show. Yeah. It's a great show.
It's Maiden.
Yeah, what's not to like? Anyway, Adrian says Bohill produced some great rap albums. He was a good producer, seriously, good producer. Jolie's here going, hi all. I saw Wiley Hall back in the days. Love them too. So there we go. See you, Jolie. Hopefully you keep them well. Vinny says Machine Gun is an underrated song by Warrant. Always enjoy listening to them.
Yes.
Warrant's fun. Victoria's going, So Victoria's here. Elise has an amazing voice. Love her in Amaranth, and her duet she does with Smash Into Pieces called My Cocaine is great. Okay, cool. I have to check out that track as well. Thank you for the thoughts on that.
Elise. She did stuff with Arian too, didn't she?
Yes, some of the live something too.
Not the voice.
Yeah, really good voice. Actually, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Time for the finale of the show, and that is the King of the Riff. Next round now. It's round 7, which is Led Zeppelin with Led Zeppelin 2 versus Def Leppard High and Dry. This is the number 7 seed versus the 2nd seed. So Led Zeppelin is the 2nd seed. They 1969 released 9 tracks, 42 minutes. The Def Leppard High and Dry. It's the return for this album. It's already gone through a round. This time round, it is the 81 release, 12 tracks, 50 minutes for the special edition, which is the one that's most readily available these days. You all know the drill. We go through, pick an album. We have the audience vote already tallied up. So, Belle, thank you again for your work in tallying the votes of this and also the Fretboard Feud segment as well earlier tonight. We do appreciate your work, especially, like I said, I know how busy you are at the moment, so I do greatly, greatly appreciate the help with that one. Each and every week, man. Thank you, Bell. So you better get used to it. All right, so this is one of those battles we all go through and go bang, bang, bang. The audience was pretty clear cut. I wonder if we're going to be the same way because Dave, you put an interesting comment in the Discord chat saying it's a really interesting battle, and I agree it's a really interesting battle. But we're going to start off by going to Conrad first for this one. So it's Led Zeppelin 2 versus Def Leppard High and Dry. Which way are you going this time around, Conrad?
This is tough. This is really tough because they're both very different. Very different beasts. Very different beasts. I'm probably more familiar with Zepp than I am with Leopard on this. So I'm probably just going to pick out of familiarity as opposed to what's the actual better second record, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I didn't get time to absorb both of them as much as I might have liked this week. For me, it's going to be Zeppelin 2.
Fair enough.
But, let's not take that. Had I had more time, perhaps to absorb all of this, I might have chosen differently.
It's an interesting one. It's one of those ones. I think Dave, you may agree that you need to really listen to these albums carefully to make it.
You do.
Exactly.
You need to invest.
Exactly.
It's a tough one.
There you are. So
no, I felt that this week. Like you have to really dive into these ones to get your head around it because it's a different battle.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah. So I am sorry that I haven't been able to.
No, it's all good. Like I said, you've got a lot on your plate as well. Everyone's got their life, man. So you just got to do what you can where you can.
So
all right.
Out of familiarity.
Yeah, fair enough. At least you got that much to go for it. So there we go. All right, Belle, we're going to throw to you next. So what are your thoughts on this battle this week?
Cool. All right. Well, look, Def Leppard came first on the playlist this week, and so that's the order I listened to these in. Mm-hmm. And the last round that this album was in, I mentioned that I hadn't heard it before, but I really, really liked it, and I chose it over. Where did I choose? I don't remember.
Something.
And a band that wasn't as good, I guess. I
can't remember either.
Shit, it wasn't that long ago.
I'll find out.
Fucking hell.
Just keep going, I'll find out.
The audience knows, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do, and they're just screaming at me. So, anyway, look, I really, really liked it. I was so impressed.
Extreme.
Oh,
Extreme, yes.
Oh, well, that's an easy win.
Ended up being pretty easy, It wasn't hard. I probably would have chosen fucking Adrenalize over that. But anyway, I didn't.
For people who don't know, in the chat, she ripped that album to bits this week, so that's saying anyway.
That's terrible. That's fucking shit.
Wow. That is throwing some fucking down.
Let's get right.
The hatchet from Taz is here.
Poor Def Leppard. They are a hit and miss band. Anyway, so I was thinking, fuck, this is going to be tough, like, because this album is just awesome. It's so good. And I'm now chomping at the bit to get my hands on this on record, like this on vinyl, so I can listen to it how it's meant to be, how it was meant to be listened to, because that's what I love about vinyl. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I have this. I think most people probably have this on record. This is here on my record player. Anyway, look, Zepp 2, this might sound weird, but I don't think Led Zeppelin actually sounds much like a British band. I think they sound a bit too loose, and I think they sound, for the time, quite American. when you compare them to what else was coming out of Britain, they just really, you got your big three, and they stand alone. They're just really, I don't know, bluesy and just kind
the
of
blues, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, like I think Free. I'm a big Free fan, and Free fall into that category as well. I think they're just very, I don't know, just un-British, but that's just my opinion.
Cool.
And
I haven't really thought of that before, so it's cool to have that brought up.
I think if you'd never heard Led Zeppelin and someone said, "Oh, this is an American band from the 60s and 70s," you go, "Yeah, I can tell."
Yeah, I'd pay that.
Yeah.
The American influence is definitely there.
Yeah, I think so.
At the time, these bands were writing for American audiences.
Yeah, that's true.
That might
That's what
have something to do
They're trying
with
to
it
break
then.
into the American market.
Yeah.
So writing for them.
Well, that makes sense to me then.
Yeah.
Look, High and Dry, it's fucking awesome. I love it. I fell more in love with it this week than I did the last time around. And they are very they're different styles, of music from different eras. And I think Zeppelin, like what they were putting out leading up to the time that High and Dry came out was I didn't like. I thought, if it had been something like towards the end, I know that's not the battle, but I would have picked High and Dry. But I think Zeppelin 2 just completely outclasses High and Dry in every possible way. I love High and Dry. I think it's a great album, but Led Zeppelin 2 is just brilliant. Just absolutely classy. Like and the reason I mentioned the order I listened to, I was listening to High and Dry, loving it, like, fuck, this is going to be hard. Zeppelin 2 came on, and I just thought, no, this wins. This is just
like that,
Yeah, I'm glad that I did it that way. And if I think Zeppelin 2 had come on first and High and Dry on with Zeppelin, so just completely outclassed it. For the win for me.
Cool. Well, it's 2-0 right now, which means if Zeppelin get one more, it's game over. But Dave, you're up next.
Oh, fuck, really? Okay. This is an interesting battle. And I mentioned in the chat, because thinking about, nobody mentions Led Zeppelin and Def Leppard in the same paragraph ever.
No, we don't.
Even though they're both from the same country, 10 years apart, but fuck. I mean, I know Def Leppard did a lot of covers. I don't think they ever covered Zeppelin, but yeah. Both of these bands, neither of these bands are in my top 10 favorite bands, or even my top 15, come to think of it. I haven't even sat down to think about my top 15, but I don't think they would be in my top 15 favorite bands.
Okay.
But probably my top 20, like my top 3 is top 5, my top 5 is top 8. It's hard to fucking, when you sit down and think of it. Both of these albums are fantastic. I love both of these albums, but neither is my favorite album for both of these bands. Both of these albums have high and low points. Both are a step up from their debut albums. This is an unusual battle because I don't have a strong opinion about either.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on a massive rant like last week, like I did about Skid Row, because fuck, that album's amazing. I don't have that passion for either of these albums because they've done better as their careers go on. That made me think about the Zeppelin Leppard battle. Because if this was Pyromania versus Zeppelin 3, with the exception of Immigrant Song, Pyromania wins. And I think a lot of Zeppelin purists would fucking lynch me for that. But
interesting thought, though. I did like that idea you put forward. It'd be interesting to put that together,
And then you get Hysteria versus Zeppelin 4. That's a really hard fucking battle.
That's an interesting one.
Great.
That's really hard. But then obviously Houses of the Holy wins because it's Houses of the Holy. I don't give a fuck what that goes up against. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Zeppelin album.
Yeah.
Mine too.
It's easy to rate an entire album based on the hits. A lot of albums come under that category of it's got 80% fantastic songs and it supports the 20% that's not that good. So, but if you're rating an entire album, you have to think about that 20%. So, but a lot of albums are supported by the better songs. I mean, Power Slave, Iron Maiden, we're all in Iron Maiden mode at the moment. You got Aces High. You got some weaker moments in the middle of Power Slave. I hate saying that, but everyone will rate that album based on the big songs. There are some weaker moments in the middle. Kill me if you want to, but it's a fact.
I agree with you. So yeah.
So taking out the heavyweights, Hodler of Love, I fucking adore that solo. I can play it, I can't feel it. Jimmy's got that feel. You can't do it. Heartbreaker, that riff is amazing. Switch to Def Leppard, you got Let It Go, a fantastic opener. Switch 625, which is an amazing instrumental. And then Bring It On the Heartache, which is a fantastic ballad, which I fucking adore. Scrub all those songs, and I'm trying to weigh up which album I enjoy better without the heavyweight contenders.
Yeah, so you're weighing low points. Yeah,
it doesn't make it any easier because you got the heavyweight of Led Zeppelin, the pioneers of early heavy metal, blues rock, the missing link between John Lee Hooker and Guns N' Roses in the 90s. Aerosmith were obviously in there as well. But there's no easy way to rate these albums. You got the 70s, the 80s. 1966 to 1992 is like the pinnacle of fucking music as far as I'm concerned. I love 70s, I love 80s. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. You got the blues stuff from the 70s. You got the party element of the 80s. I was obviously going to flip a coin because I couldn't find an angle. You got performances, composition, legacy. It's all there. Both of these bands are fucking amazing. Zeppelin are obviously the heavyweight. Only thing I could kind of think of is that Def Leppard wrote all these songs and Zeppelin plagiarized a couple of these songs. But even that wasn't enough because they made it their own. Def Leppard.
Okay.
Did I just drop out? Did I just drop out? I'm back.
You did, yeah. You said Def Leppard, then you dropped out.
I thought it was planned.
That wasn't fucking cunt. Okay, so as I was saying, Def Leppard are a fun listen. Zeppelin is great from start to finish. There's some hidden tracks, some album tracks that I love. I have this really annoying fucking drum solo, Moby Dick. Save the drum solos for the live shit and an actual studio album. It just bores the fuck out of me. So fuck the drum solo. That's my deciding factor. Def Leppard gets the win for this one.
Wow, there we go.
It's fucking drummers, man. Jesus Christ, it's so fucking boring. Drummers are the reason that the guitarists get to have a break on a fucking live show. It's so boring, cunts.
Anyway, it's interesting that Dave went with the approach of like finding the flat spots and comparing those, because I actually kind of went with a similar approach in a lot of respects, and I have done in the past, because it's about every album of these choices has great strong moments. So where do the weaker moments come in? And you look at both albums, and they're both fucking fantastic. I'm not trying to knock either one, but you got to find a way to make a point and make a decision on it. You got a Led Zeppelin 2, you got Whole Lot of Love, you've got Lemon Song, which is interesting. But you got Heartbreaker, Ramble On. Like, you got some of my all-time favorite songs from Led Zeppelin on that, especially Ramble On. I fucking love that song to death.
Yes.
Flip side is that on, High and Dry, you've got Let It Go, another hit and run. You've got Bring On the Heartbreak, which is a massive ballad. One of my favorite instrumentals of all time in Switch 625. Lady Strange, On Through the Night. But at the same time, there are, neither of these albums are absolutely perfect, but at the same time, they're both really fucking good. So it really does just come down to where you find your flat spots, quote unquote, and how things balance out. Now, for me, it's interesting because in a lot of respects, you can't ignore Led Zeppelin's career overall. Like, from beginning to end, they've written some of the biggest and best songs of all time. There is a reason why they are up here. They're an S-tier band. They are one of the all-time greats. They are just required listening. You have to be aware of Led Zeppelin. Def Leppard, I don't know if you have to put in the same category, but this isn't about legacies. This is about album versus album in this context. And so for me, that's how I played it. And so everything's been said already here tonight that I can understand each point of view, but at the same time, for me, it just comes down to, yes, I think Led Zeppelin 2 has the bigger songs, the bigger moments, but from top to bottom, the stronger album for me that keeps me entertained and keeps me locked in from beginning to end is going to be Def Leppard. I'm going to be with Dave on this one. So,
and it's even.
It is even. And I want to go. It's because the energy I got. I love Led Zeppelin. This is not a knock on Led Zeppelin at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, but at the same time, for me, listening from beginning to end, I got a lot more enjoyment and energy listening to Def Leppard than I did Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin has the high spots. Like if you had to pick which album has the best song, that's Led Zeppelin. But one is the best album overall from beginning to end, and that for me
the point.
Was Def Leppard. So it's a stronger one. The quote unquote flat spots, not that they really are, but the low tide was higher for Led Zeppelin. For Def Leppard than it was for Led Zeppelin. That was how I balanced that. So I'm with Dave on this one, which means Jeff, you get the call.
Deciding factor, man.
Yeah.
Look, no pressure. Some fan base out there is going to fucking hate me. I know.
This is going to be interesting because we are a lot tighter than the audience vote was. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out. So over to you, man.
All right. So we've got Led Zeppelin 2, which came out in '69, which is the year I was born. In fact, it came out almost 3 weeks to the day before my birthday when I was born. Yeah. So October 22nd, I am November 15th. So it was just like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yep. And Def Leppard, High and Dry, 1981. So yeah, look, and I'm gonna read the way I wrote it, what my mental state was, what I was thinking of writing it. Mm-hmm. So I think I've covered, and you guys all covered basically what I'm gonna say, which is at first glance, this battle seems like it's an easy shoe-in for one of the combatants.
Yes.
But when you take the time to break it down, you actually become acutely aware that there's more here than meets the ear. Mm-hmm. So Def Leppard comes flying out of the gate with their follow-up album, which is one of the defining records of the 80s, the early 80s rock scene coming out of England. The number of bands that this would influence is off the chart, let alone the newly minted MTV, which in America would help turn Def Leppard into a household name by playing their videos fucking constantly, daily, day in and day out. Because MTV came out in '81 as well. So they were looking for material, and they got it. So then there's Led Zeppelin 2. This is the follow-up to the groundbreaking debut album, which was the foundation for all things rock, metal, and blues rock. This second album solidified their already permanent place in the annals of rock and heavy metal music history. Now, personally, I never really considered Led Zeppelin to be a heavy metal band, but their influence on the genre as a whole cannot be overstated. Now, it's impossible to overlook this album as anything less than a seminal work. And indeed, it has acted as a foundation for every genre and subgenre of rock to follow. Most of which had not even been invented yet. So having said that, as good as High and Dry is in its epic credentials in the rock and heavy metal genre in which it resides, it was Led Zeppelin 2 album which cemented the foundation for that band's future and actually helped to create that genre in the first place. So it stands to reason that without Led Zeppelin 2, there probably wouldn't be a High and Dry. And that same argument we made with Ride the Lightning went up against Paranoid a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we didn't have one without the other.
Ride the Lightning won that battle.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you can start something, but who perfects it kind of thing is a
correct.
Point. Yeah.
So, and as we found out then, sometimes an important album may not necessarily be the one that you reach for more often. It depends entirely on your mood at the time and the dopamine spike that you get from sometimes just thinking about spinning an album and then again from hearing it. And honestly, I get plenty from both of these albums.
Yep.
And so I've come to the point where I'm actually torn. And when I was deciding the ultimate winner, I could not help but think about Conrad's bee's dick analogy that he made last week.
Stop thinking about Conrad's dick.
This is a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
it really is.
But sorry, buddy. But you did mention something. You said, it wins just by a bee's dick, and I just couldn't help but
It's not about the
so we
size
got to
of
get
the
the girl from
pencil.
last weekend.
That's right.
Like,
It's how you write your
It's not
name.
about the size of the pencil. It's about how you write your name. There you are.
That's right. All right. Look.
how is her face?
Oh. Anyway, can we go on?
Let that linger. Anyway, so in that analogy, obviously it's a good one, but in some ways this battle is cut and dried, and in other ways it's much closer than you may realize. Overall, this battle was a lot tougher than it seemed. But if I had to choose, based purely on its cultural impact in the music world, I have to pick Led Zeppelin 2 to go on to the next round.
Cool.
There we go.
I got no complaints either way.
There's no losers, really, is there? Like,
No. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And
this
it's
is
neutral.
They both scratch an itch.
Yeah, this is an exercise in fun and futility at the same time. It's both, but it's just something we do for fun of it. Now, the remarkable thing here is that it was very, very tight for us, like 3-2, and everyone had very good reasons for their points of view today. I think that the audience side of things was much more lopsided, which Belle will back me in on here. It was about 2 to 1, basically, in the way the audience voted it out. So with about 2/3 of the vote, we went with the audience this time around. So Led Zeppelin get the nod in both fronts. So Def Leppard survived one round. They don't survive this round. Led Zeppelin, being the number 2 seed, takes on and moves forward. Yep. So there we go. So it was a good, interesting little. That's why I said that's when Dave put in the chat about just doing more of this sort of thing. It's an interesting sort of contrast because they're two very different bands, but it'd be an interesting thing journey to take.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it's a curious one. So we'll see what we'll do in that in the future. But next week is a different one. Next week is very different because for the first time we have Alice in Chains Dirt appearing. Alice in Chains Dirt are going to be making their first appearance in this series. For us, it goes up against Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil.
Fucking yeah! This is an interesting.
It is. Wow. So that's
battle.
our version.
Even more different than the one we've just done.
Yes,
it's
a decade apart.
One killed the other. Really, when you think about historically.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
And I love both fucking bands. I love both albums. This is really fucking hard.
The audience one is different though, because they have Alice in Chains Dirt, but the audience is going up against Iron Maiden Killers.
That makes
also
it a lot
really
easier.
Different.
Yeah, that makes it easier, actually. That really does make
audience.
Why does that make it easier? Fuck.
So we'll see what happens.
Because mate, I love. Wow.
Yeah,
I like Maiden much more than Motley Crue.
You got to hold some powder for next week, but for us, Alice in Chains Dirt versus Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. Audience.
This hurts my brain.
Will be Alice in Chains Dirt versus Iron Maiden Killers. I think all of our brains are hurting at the rate we're going today. So that is next week's battle. So keep your eyes peeled on the socials for that. Next Thursday, we'll come back and do this battle. Let's do some audience comments before we get out of here tonight. Jolie says, go back to Amaranth for a second there. I looked at the YouTube Amaranth. I personally thought it didn't look very good or sound as good. So there we go. That's the live stuff there. Wayne's gone Led Zepp, no contest. I knew you'd be chiming in with that one, Wayne. So you got your wish. High and dry.
You are a Def Leppard album,
He's nothing if not consistent. Basher says, I'm going to give Led Zeppelin to Every Inch of My Love, 10 inches or 25 centimeters.
All right. Okay.
Radio.
Do we have to squeeze your lemon?
Oh God. Adrian says, I'm going with the underdog Def Leppard, so this is where it gets interesting. Vinny says, I struggle with this battle, but I ultimately thought High and Dry had more memorable tracks, so this is where it gets interesting. But Adrian says Led Zeppelin was big on American blues, so that's where some different points of view come in. Man family here, good to see you. They're going, g'day all, a big shout out to our Paralympic team. Well done, nicely put, actually. Yes, a big shout out to them all doing some really good things over there. And some of the video you've seen coming out of that whole event this time around has been really quite remarkable. So I don't know, I just caught that there was this weird thing because I've got like blind soccer, but the crowd did a silent Mexican wave to not interfere with the players playing using their hearing to play the ball. So cool. There's a lot of really cool little moments that have come out of this thing. That's just one of many. What do we got here? Basher says, High and Dry is a great album. However, Zepp 2 is the next level for me. It's timeless hard rock and blues, and for over 50 years and hundreds of listens, it still sounds fresh and powerful, which is a very good reason for that. Sparksy's here. Going, look at that sexy beard Jeff has. There's some love for Jeff.
Yep.
Michael says, I went Zepp, but close. Love High and Dry. Not sure if it will get mentioned, but love cover art and High and Dry. That is a very cool, very cool album art. Jolie says, I agree with both Dave and Andrew. High and Dry for me too, since I didn't vote at the time, but laugh out loud, but totally loved Whole Lotta Love. So there we go. And Vinny says, never thought I'd live to see the day that Conrad's Pecker helps decide an album battle, but here we are.
Luckily, it was a close draw.
Wow. Alrighty, folks. Let's get
if it was a landslide, I would quit.
Yeah, sure. Well, we're going to get out of here. So it's time for the final segment.
My head.
And that is the win or the bin of the week. And let's just quickly do the rounds here as we do things. So, Belle, you're here. You're next up on the screen. So what are your win/bins for this week?
I've got a win actually.
Nice.
I hope it's a win. So I think everyone here at least that I can see knows that I'm in the process of selling my house.
Yeah.
And I found out this afternoon that we got a contract. So we had a verbal offer last week, and then the agent was trying to get a contract organised, but that came through today. I just found out like a few hours
in
ago.
the process.
So, yay.
Nice.
That's awesome. Congrats, Belle.
Yes.
One less thing to worry about.
Yeah.
It's a relief. So don't know the terms of it yet. I haven't had a chance to look through it because it only just got emailed through. I'm like, well, I'm busy. I'm busy doing important stuff. So I'll look at it tomorrow. Hopefully it's good.
Nice. Either way, it can't be bad. So congratulations, Belle.
That's
definitely progress.
That's a win.
It definitely is a win. So, that's it. Just a win, no win.
Yeah. And, considering what you've been going through lately, I'm glad you're getting some goals at the moment. Yeah. Kicking some things off. So it's good to see. I'm very, very genuinely. I think we're all.
Take the pressure off.
Here. Yeah. Been in a lot of fun, but genuinely for you. So congrats. All right. Conrad, I'm playing with fire, but over to you.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
What'd you learn this week?
Sorry, Ben.
What new position?
The wheelbarrow. I don't know.
Actually,
the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah. I didn't learn any new ones. But I was going to say, win just the getting a bit of work. That's been great.
Nice. Awesome, man. You've had a lot on your plate in that one too, so that's good. Yeah,
that's been really good. So the money's been nice. And as for Ben, these morons, the people moaning about. Well, it's not actually them moaning. It's people buying up concert tickets that the Oasis thing. I'm not an Oasis.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in going. But people that can't get their hands on tickets because other people buy stupid amounts of them and then resell them. Yeah. You shouldn't be allowed to do it. You should not be allowed to do it. You should be allowed to sign 2 tickets per person, and they should be the names on the tickets, and those people should be going to the shows. As opposed to people buying up 10 tickets and no intention of going. The only reason they're buying them is to resell them. And they've got to be stricter on this shit. They just got to be come down.
There has to be a way. With all the fucking technology we've got, there has to be a way.
Yeah, there has to be, because it's not right. It's just wrong on so many levels. And not only that, you got companies that are reselling them to themselves, like Ticketmaster has a subsidiary. They've got a subsidiary ticket outlet where they've basically assigned so many tickets to the resale site, and they're then doubling, tripling the price on the tickets. It's just wrong. All of that. Totally wrong.
Completely agree, man. It is.
Because it comes back to the artists. Like the artists, maybe people can't afford to go because of all this shit going on, and like who loses out?
Exactly,
well, the fans and the artists. People in between.
The artist doesn't know. And then they get their fee up front. The artist gets their fee up front. That's the thing.
Terrible.
Which allows these promoters ticket
to play the game.
So they can do what they like. They can do whatever the fuck they like, basically.
It's a big problem.
However, we have people like Eddie Vedder years ago who spoke out about it and all that sort of thing.
Oasis
you
have
didn't
said they'll only honour tickets, done through a physical thing. So, buyer beware in that regard. So,
it's it got to be more regulations brought into ticketing. I think for concerts there has to be a lot more rules brought in.
Well, it's a big watch this space on what happens with the American antitrust lawsuit happening at the moment with Live Nation. So we'll see how that plays out and how that domino will fall.
I hope so, because it is unfair. I mean, I get pissed off when I can't get my hands on fucking concert tickets. It fucking shits me. And if I have to buy resale, you're looking at an extra £50 to £100 on top of what they originally were, and it's like fucking hell. It's a lot of money. Yeah. It sucks. It shouldn't be allowed.
Agree.
So that's my bin. So those fuckers can get in the bin.
Well put, good sir. Completely agree. Let's continue in the rounds. Jeff, you're up next.
Yeah, win for me. Look, it's tomorrow night, Maiden. Front row. I'm going to be looking up Bruce's nostrils and enjoying every second of it. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been I've been to many concerts I've been up front, but I've never been to Maiden. And this will be my fourth time. And it's the first time that we've actually been on the floor. Every other fucking time we didn't have a choice. We were always in the nosebleeds. Yeah. And so this is going to be nice. I'm kind of scared with Killswitch Engage. I know you guys say it's a Maiden crowd.
You'll be fine.
I tell you,
it's a Maiden crowd, dude. Like we said, Maiden crowd. Yeah. Maiden fans don't jump all over each other.
Well,
they cannot wait for Killswitch to get off. That crowd is just going to be like, when are these cunts coming off stage?
I'm kind of hoping that's the case, but my buddy saw them in Perth and he said it was just the opposite. He said
dude, it's a Maiden dominant crowd. The Killswitch fans are going to be the minority. They're not going to be jumping all over each other like they would if they were headlining.
You'll be fine.
Look, I'm going to be on the floor too. I'll be up the front on Saturday. I was concerned too, but I'm really not all that bothered.
Oh, you bloody wusses! Just
I don't get the fascination of guys jumping all over each other. These violent mosh pits are just fucking gay. They're pathetic. I don't get it.
You navigate. All right. I went to
guys jumping all over each other is gay.
It was fine. All right. There was shit going on. You just maneuver yourself. You just get out of trouble. It's fine.
I don't get the whole violent mosh pit shit. Why?
Yeah, I know.
What's the fucking appeal to that shit?
Just put a teaspoon of cement in your coffee and harden the fuck up, okay?
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't like guys jumping all over me. It's fucking pathetic. I'm not a violent, angry person. I don't know the appeal. I don't get it. Why?
Yeah.
What's the fuck? Why do you like jumping all over other men? What's this mosh pit fucking violent shit? I don't get it. No, I don't jump on other men. It's weird.
Anyway.
What's wrong with I don't have that's my win. I don't really have a bid.
Nice. So cool. That's all right. All right, Dave. Go for it.
Yeah, I got a bunch of wins, one bin. Last Friday night, me and my daughter will watch a movie, and I've been educating her in the brilliance of action and horror. Like she watched The Shining.
Nice.
So we're moving into horror. So come Monday, she tells me that she told her friends all about The Shining, and her and her friends during lunch break were screaming at the top of their lungs, "Red rum! Red rum!" To which teachers walked away from them. Red rum! Fucking another win. Iron Maiden Saturday night.
Yeah, brother.
I'm happy to see Killswitch Engage. I think that's going to be cool. I don't want guys jumping all over me though. I don't get the whole violent mosh pit. I don't. It just fucks up the entire. I'm there for the music, not to get violent and jump all over people. I don't get it. It's pathetic. It's shit. Why? Why are people so fucking angry these days? I don't get it. Win. Spotify audiobooks. I mentioned earlier the Joe Perry biography I found, which is cool. A bin. I had to take a bus up to the mechanics to pick up my car. I had to wait 20 minutes. It was late. That was pretty shit. Fucking buses don't run on time. And then one final win. I like alcohol. I like ice cream. I discovered the missing combination. Coca-Cola. Jamison's, Coca-Cola, Spider. That's the fantastic shit right there.
Well done. Well, let us know out there, people, if you want to try that one. Yeah, let us know how that goes for you. All right.
I will.
I'm going to be a little bit more serious here, Ty, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm going to go my win first. I'm going to start with the fun one.
I know where you're going.
And that's Jody coming home after about nearly 2 weeks away, which is cool. She's brought the guitars are back, so I've got that sort of stuff ready to start setting up and that sort of stuff. So I've got the guitars back and a bunch of other stuff here too. So some stuff from the old set. So I'll be able to start once we start getting some plaster and we'll start decorating and start looking like the part here now. But yeah, just having Jody back again is fantastic. Not only for me, but also for Caesar, who has not let her out of his sight. From the moment he's been her shadow the whole time. It's probably got cameras at the house, and I just check from now and then to see what's going on. And yeah, he just follows her wherever she goes, attached to the hip. But he will not let her out of his sight. And
that's awesome.
There, so it's fantastic for everyone. Like I'm stoked. It's generally like it's funny because you don't like years and years ago you're the bachelor kind of thing, and then like you realize how much your life revolves around having that other person with you the whole time, and when that's not there, your life sort of goes, okay, what the fuck do you do with yourself? And now I'm got that little anchor back, which I'm really sort of nice and happy about. So it's a very good thing. I was getting very over being the bachelor lifestyle, just me and the dog. I'm glad to have Jody back in the house. So that's my win, definitely by a long way this week. My bin, however, it's been referenced early on at the start of the show tonight. You can see here I'm wearing a red top with a C. This is the Calgary Flames. And Jeff, you'll know what the back of this says if it turns around. Tell me if this works. I don't know if this works, but I'm going to try and get the name. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right.
That's the guy.
That's the guy, Johnny Gaudreau.
And his brother. Yep.
And his brother, Matthew. Yeah, now, for context, this is ice hockey, and I know that, sport is sport, but this is not sport. For context, my daughter was getting into ice hockey, and I convinced her to go for the same team as me. She started watching the Flames, and Johnny Gaudreau became her favorite player. So she's got a jersey with his name on the back. Jody actually found this one about a month or two ago in an op shop up here and brought it home because she thought of me and our daughter when she saw it straight away, because it's Tori's favorite player. Over the weekend, when you dig into this, it's just fucking horrific. Johnny Gaudreau, who's ice hockey player, formerly of the Flames, went to Jeff, help me out. I've drawn a blank on the name, but
he went to Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's it, the Columbus Blue Jackets. And he was out bike riding with his younger brother Matthew the night before their sister's wedding, where they were both groomsmen to be. What appears to be a drunk driver tried to overtake someone basically on the inside of the lane and ran them both over, killing them both at the scene.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's my bin.
29 and 30 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've both left, like Matthew's left behind a pregnant wife. Johnny's left behind a 1-year-old and a 6-month-old. Like I said, they're both set to be groomsmen at their sister's wedding the next day. And the guy who ran them over professed having about 5 or 6 beers before driving behind the wheel. And it looks like because some other car slowed down to overtake safely in the middle of the road, he thought he was getting basically cut off and decided to go on the inside of the lane and struck 2 cyclists. I don't have the words for this. The whole thing, like what it boils down to is the idea of drink driving. Don't fucking do it. Okay? What the fuck? And if it takes something like this to sort of wake people up a bit, then good, but it shouldn't come to this. And there's more details. I'm not going to go to the whole fucking thing, because the more you read about this, the more heartbreaking the whole thing is. Credit to both the Blue Jackets and the Flames for the tributes and the vigils they put up, and for the fan bases of both teams and how they've handled this. It's been done with nothing but class. Jeff and I have a fun thing where, because the Oilers for him and the Flames for me are like hometown rivals against each other, but the two teams have come together and the fan bases have been, united in this, and it's just a complete tragedy. And having to send my daughter the message to show her that this had happened to her favorite player, that was, what it pales by comparison what the families themselves are going through. But it echoes on and on and on in the smallest ways, and it's just such a tragedy that if this can just wake people up to not do stupid things, like I don't care if you like drink driving, go in the bin, absolutely, but just being stupid on the roads in any context, there's no need for it. You'll get there when you get there. It's okay. There's no need to be that aggressive in life in general, but especially not on the roads.
People are just fucking angry these days. I don't know what it is.
I don't know
Just,
either. But
why are people so fucking angry and miserable? I don't get it. Calm the fuck down.
But the price people are paying is too high. Like,
yes.
And it's
fucking
not
relax.
And
stop being a cunt.
Basically. And this one, yeah, to me, like, yeah, and talking to my daughter on the phone, and you know, it's one of those rare things where a quote unquote celebrity, your parasocial dynamics come into it, and she's crying over someone that never met, but she looked up to and admired, and all those things. And he was one hell of a player. Johnny Hockey was fucking, I was gutted when he left. Him and Kachuk in the same year for us, but Johnny was not only a great player, but also a great person to be around. Everyone that ever talks about him at all has nothing but glowing words to say about the person.
All-star player.
Yeah. Not only lost a great player, but also just it looks like they've lost a genuinely great person along with his brother at the same time, who's less known, but apparently left no less of an impact with the people around him. So for what it's worth, if anyone in that world sees this show, it's different worlds, but if they do, my condolences genuinely to all of you. I can't imagine what that felt like. I can't imagine what it feels like today, but I am touched to see that some of the messages from spouses left behind have been, you know, more positive than negative. I'm sure they're going through hell, but they're thanking the fans and that for their support in this really horrific time for them. So just from me to them, condolences sincerely. Like that, it's just a gut punch and a half. But for the rest of the world, calm down, please. This is not worth it. At any point, it's not worth this. So just stop and think for a second. If you can't, then don't get behind the wheel or do anything stupid at all in general. Just as a bit of a community message there. So sorry to get a bit serious, but it's one of those ones. That's why I've worn this top tonight. Why it picked up on by Guru earlier tonight as well. So just, yeah, very special. Not special, but it's a special, important message out of tragedy that hopefully will resonate and hit home. But if you want to dig in further, there's so many more details that make the more you read, the more heartbreaking it gets. And it's just, I've not seen anything like it. So it's just mind-blowing and not fun. So I'll stop it there. But no, that'll be that. Let's change the vibe. Let's go to audience comments and see what happens here, because this is going to be interesting. What Michael says, buy a bee's dick. That's going back to the other stuff there. Adrian says, yeah, I saw people brawling over Oasis tickets. Wow. That's again, why are people so angry? And Tony's gone the days of lining up a bass. I actually think physically lining up would probably put a stop to a lot of this nonsense. I think that might be one way to go back to doing it. Won't happen, but
No, it won't happen.
But it'd be interesting. Vinny says, sorry to bring the mood down, but my bin is cancer really sucks. Unfortunately, the reason why I was absent last week is unfortunately after nearly 2-year battle, my auntie is only hours away from leaving us. Oh, shit. I'm glad to hold her hand and say goodbye. It's going to be a horrible couple of weeks ahead. THRS is a good escape from this sort of thing. I'm so sorry, man.
Sorry, man.
Genuinely, you're one of the, like, you're a regular with us. We don't know you, but you're in Patreon. You're here with us every week. And so you feel for the person, the personality you are. And from all of us, I think I can safely say it's sincerely our thoughts and anything else that we can give you is with you. Genuinely, that sort of shit is real world. And this is fun and entertainment. I'm glad we give you some relief, but I want you to also know that we're thinking of you and hope you get through it as best you can. Right. Reach out to us. You've got us. You know how to get a hold of us. So reach out to us if we can help you and have a chat. Then please do so, mate. Like, genuinely mean that. I'm glad you got to say goodbye. That's a nice thing, but at the same time, it's going to be, it is hard, this sort of thing. I don't have the words for that either, unfortunately, but if we can entertain and give you a break from it, then all the better. But yeah, just know that we're thinking of you genuinely and reach out if you need. All right, sorry, there's no clean segue. It's going to keep moving on, unfortunately. Cat's gone, awesome news, Bell, great show. Night peeps, enjoy Maiden, might see you there. Please, if you do see the guys at the shows, reach out and get a photo and say hi.
Yeah, come up and say hi. It usually happens.
Yeah, Tony.
But guys, not in the toilets. I've already done a fucking selfie with some dude. I don't want to do that again.
That reminds me, actually. Yeah. At the show, at the Amaranth show, some guy came up to me and said, "Are you Jeff from the Hard Rock Show?" His name was Andrew. I don't know who he is, but I said I'd give him a shout out. So
there you go.
There you go, Andrew.
Get used to it, man.
Awesome.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I was like, my buddy was like, "Fuck, can't take you anywhere." I'm like, "Sorry, man," because he was just started, man.
Wait,
mate. Wait till you're recognized in your local Woolworths.
Yeah.
Twice in the same day.
Yeah,
that's fucking weird, man. No longer Z-grade celebrities were fucking Y-grade.
Tony says up the irons Saturday for me. There you go. Enjoy that. Vinny's back though. Life is about perspective though. For example, a friend of mine exercises twice a day, reads 2 books a week, has sex 3 times a day, yet still complains about being in prison. Vinny, you can't keep you down, can you? That's fucking great.
Awesome.
Tony's gone, yep, 54 here. I'll be at the front row too. Enjoy, man. Enjoy.
Dude, motherfucker.
Adrian says,
Awesome.
Jeff, don't be scared. If it was a Slayer pit, then be nervous. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I saw
And
it.
Guru's gone Red Rum.
More
which
guys
follows.
jumping all over each other.
Yeah, murder backwards for us.
Red Rum!
Cat's gone Red Rum. Yes, love it. So when Jade's running on school saying that, that's awesome. Edge Crusher says, I will look for you tomorrow night, Jeff. Can't wait to see Maiden. So there we go. So maybe
I'll
you'll
be
get
wearing
some...
this hat. If you see because from behind it's got a NHL thing on it, so look for that.
Yeah, because the hat is the distinguishing feature.
Well, I know, but from all you can see is people's heads. So you know, yeah.
Wow. Nicole has gone bloody drink drivers in the bin. RIP boys. Yes.
Yeah. Stop being a stupid cunt.
Yeah. Adrian's gone. The NFL season starts this week. Yes, I'm looking forward to a hopefully Chiefs 3-peat. We'll see what happens. Never been done before. We'll see. But I don't know if anyone watches, but the Chiefs put out one hell of a fucking like preseason hype video, and I'm like ready to go run through a wall after watching that. That was fucking cool. Adrian, though, followed up by saying, Andrew, sorry about the bad news. It was, pretty heartbreaking all around. Tony's gone, yep, it's sad. It is just that thing. Wayne says, good night, everyone. Wish I could catch this more, but I always try. Judas fucking Priest. It's a fucking priest. Well done, Wayne. Well done, Wayne. In classic form. That's awesome,
hey, man, when you die, can I have your Judas Priest records?
Oh, wow.
Love you, man.
Oh, I think that might go to his kids first, mate. Or his grandkids. He loves his kids. Okay, Dave, from you.
Yeah,
right.
Reserved,
Michael says, hey, if I get Oasis tickets, I'll be very angry. Well, that could be a thing too. But Kat's gone, I won't follow you to the toilets, Dave. So there you go. You got one that won't follow you.
Thank you. Nice to know there's one woman who won't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, man. Got some tickets or what? Fuck. Wayne says, my daughter wants them already, dude, so you're out of luck. So you're fucked there. And Vinny's gone, thanks for your kind words. We will get through this. And like I said before, genuinely, if you need us,
all the best,
we'll be there for you if we can. But yeah, all the best, genuinely. All right. That will about do it. I'll do the usual thing here where you know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Find us on your preferred platform and just keep up to date. Get involved in the polling that happens every week as well. There'll be a few in the next few days, so make sure you follow us. If you want to get involved behind the scenes and get a bit more involved in doing other sessions and that as well, you get to see other content, other reviews done live. You can support us via Patreon. That helps us get more done here behind the scenes, and it helps the show pay for itself, to be honest. And then if you want to get in touch with us, the best email is media@thehardrockshow.com. That is the best email to get a hold of us as well. All those things been on the screen. Again, all that stuff is in the description box, so you'll find everything you need there. Make sure you watch us on television as well. 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights, Channel 44 Adelaide. 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights on Channel 39 in Melbourne. This week coming up from Saturday coming up to the next Thursday on Channel 44 is going back to 2019, revisiting our Warbirds Takeover episode, which is a fun one. I wanted to go back and play that one again because they, about a year ago, re-released their stunning album Order from Chaos, which is an absolute beast of a record. So make sure you get around the band and check that out. Just a bit on this week, so I just went and did that and put that in there just for the sake of having something to air that they haven't seen for a while. So hopefully, come to think of it, that's like 5 years ago that episode went to air. Fucking hell, that's crazy. Anyway, that's that. So that's where we're at the moment. Final comments here. Wayne's gone, Dave, you can have my Def Leppard record. So there we go.
Okay, I won't complain.
Wayne,
we're gonna go for a beer, man.
Yeah, you should. 2 days until Maiden. Next time I'm down in Melbourne, I'll try and catch up with him as well. Elliot's gone. Good night, everyone. Good to see you all. But I think that will about do us. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you all again, same time, place, next week for another fun episode. We'll see what madness happens there. But until then, I'm Andrew. We've got Belle beside me. Conrad's jumped up the other side of the screen there. And on the bottom half of the screen, you have Dave and Jeff. Thank you one and all for you guys for jumping in as well. It's been an absolute blast. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a great week. Until then, as always, though, you know what to do, folks. Drink up. Rock on.
Rock on. Red rum.
Red rum.
Red rum.